So I just wanted to take a little bit of time to say welcome to everybody. As you know, the Chamber really believes strongly in apprenticeships and in supporting young people, and we've done that as part of our business. I managed to survive COVID all this time and then went abroad and have now come down with it. So it's quite nice to be able to do this and kind of join remotely. I'm really looking forward to the session today, and it does feel like an awful long time since we did a webinar, but it just shows you actually that the world we now inhabit is going to be as much a mix of virtual as it's going to be face-to-face events, and it's good to be able to get so many people on and tell you the story about apprenticeships while we can kind of do that from the comfort of our own desk. So I think that's really all I wanted to say. We are going to hear about how easy and beneficial it is to people and to businesses to get involved with Graduate Apprenticeship Programme, and the Chamber has definitely done that, whether we've been a team of 9 and we've supported a graduate apprentice, or whether, as we are now, a much expanded team and are able to give people internal opportunities as well as create new jobs and bring apprentices into our business. It's definitely something that everybody can do. It changes you as a business though, and you have to change and adapt and make sure you're creating the right jobs for young people and the existing people that you've got that want to reskill. So yeah, with all of that, I'm going to get out of the way and introduce Wayne to you. Any of you that have got a Sky subscription like me will be well used to seeing Wayne over the last few days, but it's brilliant to see the universities being able to really get involved in these graduate apprenticeship programmes and help businesses and people locally get the chance to upskill. So Wayne, over to you. Looking forward to hearing from everybody today and then taking part in the Q&A.
Thank you very much, Alison. Let me see. Can you see my screen now?
Sure can.
Fantastic. So good morning, everyone. My name is Wayne Paul. I am the Engagement Manager for the University of Dundee's Graduate Apprenticeship Programme. I will be sending out today's presentation after the event, so you don't need to worry about taking too many notes. Today, I'll begin the event by walking you through our Graduate Apprenticeship Programme, highlighting how it can help you develop your workforce and grow your business. I'll then pass you over to Fiona McMillan from the University of Stirling, who will be talking about the Graduate Apprenticeship Programme they offer. We'll then bring to life the impact our programme can have on both your workforce and your business by speaking with apprentices Adam Jarrett from Halliburton and Jodie Sturrock from Robertson, along with Jodie's mentor Donna, also from Robertson Group. I'll then close today's event by answering any questions you may have. So let's get started. So since 2017, our aim has been to provide transparent and easily accessible funding and development opportunities to businesses of all sizes in order to help them develop and grow. Our fully funded programme gives you the opportunity to develop current or new members of your workforce of all ages to honours degree level while still working full-time and at no additional cost to your business. Combining work-based learning and high-quality education, graduate apprentices spend 1 day a week studying at the university and the remaining 4 days of the week working in their role. And this allows them to develop their knowledge and practical experience at the same time, creating well-rounded, knowledgeable, and experienced individuals. Now, our programme is proving to be a valuable resource for companies across Scotland, with more and more employers joining the programme every year. We are now working with apprentices from over 100 different employers, and we are looking forward to welcoming apprentices from both current and new employers in our upcoming September intake. Now, within our programme, we offer 5 courses, and these are a BSc Honours in Business Management, a BEng Honours in Civil Engineering, a BEng Honours in Engineering Design and Manufacturing, a BSc Honours in IT Management for Business, and a BSc Honours in IT Software Development. And our programme has been designed to be as simple and easy as possible for new members of your workforce, or both, and we will work with you to identify the right person for the programme and then walk you through the application process. Starting in September for 42 weeks of the year and subject to COVID guidelines, graduate apprentices will spend 4 days a week working full-time and 1 day a week studying at the university. The day your employees spend on campus would be a Monday in first year, Tuesday in second, Wednesday in third, and Thursday in fourth. And then in addition to this, apprentices will be required to undertake on average 7 to 9 hours of additional study per week. After 4 years, graduates will achieve the same level of honours degree if they studied full-time. And with the programme being fully funded by Skills Development Scotland, there's no additional cost to you as a business and no student debt for the apprentice. Typically, there are 4 parties involved throughout the programme: the apprentice, the employer, the mentor, and the university. each of whom will work closely with each other to ensure that the apprentice and employer experience is as smooth, seamless and enjoyable as possible, and that everyone is reaping the benefits the programme has to offer. Mentors are usually assigned to an apprentice by their employer. However, they should not be the line manager and do not have to be from within the organisation. The mentor's role is not overly time-consuming, but plays a key role in providing the apprentice with unbiased support throughout their programme. Mentors are encouraged to attend the Graduate Apprenticeship Welcome Day at the start of the programme, and also to commit to 2 meetings a year with their apprentice's lecturer. Our programme is fully funded by Skills Development Scotland, but what does this actually mean for you? Employers choose to cover, or their mentor's time. Now, your employees will be taught by dedicated graduate apprenticeship lecturers who focus solely on developing and delivering the graduate apprenticeship courses. Currently, our graduate apprenticeship team consists of 4 business management lecturers, 4 IT lecturers, and 6 engineering lecturers. And along with their academic experience, our lecturers also have many years of combined industry experience, adding an extra dimension to your employees' learning experience. We also draw on the experience of our colleagues throughout the university to share their knowledge of specialist subjects. Now, each of our courses has been designed around the needs of the industry, with a varied curriculum being taught alongside work-based learning. And this allows your apprentices to not only understand and appreciate the theory behind why things are done in the industry, but also experience how they are done through both practical and work-based learning. And this combination of university and work-based learning has been shown to not only increase the individual's knowledge and understanding, but also broaden their skills and experience. Throughout all of our courses, we hope that apprentices will not only develop their own knowledge and understanding, but also help grow their business as well. On our business management course, they will do this by developing their understanding of business functions, processes, markets, models, and strategy, of effective project management, how technology can enhance business, communicating using a range of media, understanding leadership styles and organizational culture, managing the relationships, emotional intelligence and core values, effective planning and personal development, and effective decision-making and problem solving. And if we look at the breakdown of content over the 4-year programme, we will see a wide variety of topics are covered, from business strategy, technologies to business finance and accounting. And the reason for this is to ensure that continuous learning and implementation of these principles takes place, resulting in well-rounded, knowledgeable and experienced individuals who not only understand all of the individual components that make up a successful business, but also how they come together and are implemented. Now let's take a moment to look at how some of these modules can transfer knowledge and skills into your business. Introduction to Marketing is a module we cover in first year, and the content that is taught in this module can be transferred into a variety of businesses, from those who are looking to maximize their marketing potential on a more cost-effective basis, to those who are looking to strategically align their marketing and public engagement messaging with their core product, service, or organizational strengths. For example, employees can use the knowledge gained from this module to analyze and evaluate which approaches to marketing will work best for their organization, to develop, enhance, and exploit effective product or service branding, to build and manage an engaging digital media presence, which will provide a return, to implement an effective and coherent sales strategy, and to partake effectively in the sales process using the right approach to target the right customer. Leadership and Management is a module we cover in second year, and the content that is taught in this module is relevant to all businesses in all sectors, including the public sector, and the skills gained can be utilised effectively at every level. Employees can use the knowledge gained from this module to build, manage, and lead teams effectively in the pursuit of organisational aims and objectives, to create a cohesive, high-performance work culture, to effectively manage, support, coach, and mentor both individuals and teams using a variety of coaching, resilience, and confidence-building techniques through various situations, and to evaluate and understand the role you play as an individual in supporting the goals of your organisation. Finally, Business in the Environment is a module that we cover in third year, and the content that is taught in this module is again relevant to all businesses in all sectors, including the public sector, although employees in manufacturing and service delivery organisations will particularly benefit from the experience. In this module, employees will learn how to assess and evaluate the environmental context with which their organisation operates, to cost-effectively approach pollution control and waste management, to reduce environmental impact whilst increasing efficiency, and to market your environmental credentials. Now let's take a look at our IT Management for Business course. On this course, your apprentices will develop their knowledge and understanding whilst helping the business grow by gaining a broad background of business operations, procedures and culture applicable to IT, by gaining sufficient technical knowledge to play a key role in an IT environment, by gaining operational problem solving and modelling skills, by gaining business knowledge to play a management role in an IT project, and project delivery experience in a business-oriented environment. Again, if we look at the breakdown of content over the 4-year IT Management for Business course, you will see a wide variety of topics are covered, from information systems and business strategy and management in year 1, to systems analysis and design and business finance and accounting in year 2, information security and agile project delivery in year 3, and project planning and project execution in year 4. And covering such a variety of subjects ensures that your apprentices are continually learning and implementing new knowledge and skills into your business that are built upon what they've already learned. And this process results in your apprentices becoming well-rounded, knowledgeable and experienced IT individuals who not only understand all of the individual components that make up a successful IT system, but also how some of these modules can transfer into your business. Project planning and project execution are modules that are covered in both our IT Management for Business and IT Software Development courses that prepare and equip your employees with the knowledge, real-world examples and practical case studies to successfully plan and execute a variety of projects. The content that is taught in these modules is relevant to a wide variety of business, but especially to those involved in product development, be that from conception to delivery of the product or deployment of the product. Employees can use the knowledge gained from these modules to drive planning and scheduling, to build, lead and manage teams, to deliver objectives, to efficiently manage and allocate resources, to implement quality control and assurance practices, and to produce detailed project reports. And some of the roles where these skills can be utilised include project planner, project coordinator, team lead, project administrator, office manager, program manager, or program coordinator. Next, let's take a look at our IT Software Development course. And this course provides apprentices with the skills required to gather requirements, design, build, test, and deploy appropriate software solutions in a range of applications and domains. Like our IT Management course, we hope that apprentices will develop their knowledge and understanding whilst helping their business grow by gaining experience in custom software development processes, including the knowledge, skills, and professional competencies necessary to a software engineer, by designing appropriate solutions in a range of application contexts and domains using software development approaches, by building and testing software solutions, by reconciling conflicting project objectives and finding acceptable compromises, by understanding current theories, models, and techniques that provide a basis for problem identification and analysis, software design, development, implementation, verification, and documentation, and by understanding the importance of applying negotiation, effective work habits, leadership, and good communication with stakeholders. Okay, so if we look at the breakdown of content over a 4-year IT Software Development course, you will also see a wide variety of topics are covered, from object-oriented software development and data structures and algorithms in year 1, to software modeling and analysis and business finance and accounting in year 2, software verification, testing and deployment in year 3, and project management and methodologies in year 4. And in a similar manner to our IT Management for Business course, the reason for this variety is our course has been designed to ensure that continuous learning and implementation of these principles takes place, again resulting in a well-rounded, knowledgeable and experienced IT individual who not only understands all of the individual components that make up a successful IT system, but also how they can be successfully and efficiently developed, implemented and managed. In essence, our programme can equip staff with the skills necessary to solve a range of IT problems, such as how to manage data, process data, write more efficient software, and develop bespoke solutions to specific problems. Our IT Software Development course would be ideal for employees who aspire to be software developers and engineers, analyst developers, software testers, web application developers, or data analysts, to name but a few. Now let's take a moment to look at another module that is covered in both of our IT courses and how the knowledge can transfer into your business. Agile Project Delivery prepares and equips your employees with the knowledge, agile methodologies, real-world examples, and practical case studies to effectively, efficiently, and successfully handle projects. Here, employees learn how to work as a team to undertake a thorough planning process before implementing their strategy. And this approach is particularly effective for projects where frequent changes are likely to be required. The module also encourages apprentices to focus on delivering value and reducing waste, on individuals and interactions over processes and tools, on producing working solutions over comprehensive documentation, on customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and on responding to change over following a plan. And when these values are brought into an organisation, they've been shown to not only increase efficiency and reduce waste, but also increase employee morale, job satisfaction, and customer satisfaction. Now let's move on to our engineering courses. On our civil engineering course, your apprentices will learn a number of skills, including how to solve civil engineering problems, how to understand construction methods and structural and geotechnical design, how to analyse and solve solutions to civil engineering problems associated with structural and geotechnical design and explain construction methods, how to analyse emerging technologies and how these can be applied to civil engineering problems, how to manage learning and take responsibility for organising work to meet deadlines, how to work as a team and analyse work produced, and finally, how to study project management, safety and sustainable construction methodologies. And again, if we look at the breakdown of content over our 4-year civil engineering course, you will see that some subjects continue across multiple years, whereas others are standalone and positioned based on the apprentice's understanding at that point in time. For example, you will see in the table that engineering mathematics is covered in depth over years 1 to 3 and some form of structures throughout. Others, such as professional engineering practice, geomechanics, and concrete durability and repair technology, may only feature once. However, the course has been designed to ensure that continuous learning and implementation of these principles takes place, again resulting in a well-rounded, knowledgeable, and experienced engineering individual. Now, combining the breadth of knowledge we cover throughout our civil engineering course with the unique approach we take to implement this learning can result in a number of benefits for both your apprentice and your business. The combination of academic and work-based learning allows us to introduce and encourage reflective and lifelong learning, which helps to not only develop your apprentices beyond their degree, including towards professional qualifications, but also supports additional training and provides opportunities to explore community benefit work. Our community of practice approach also helps us to cement this breadth of learning and consolidate academic and work skills into group projects. By working together in groups, your apprentices will be able to explore and gain an appreciation of the wider construction sector. Finally, the research projects that are undertaken by apprentices will allow them to explore the potential to add value within your business using our state-of-the-art testing facilities and expert input. These projects have, in the past, played a significant role in the adoption of new working policies and procedures within our current employers. Finally, if we move on to our engineering design and manufacturing course, we hope that apprentices will develop their knowledge and understanding whilst helping their business grow by learning how to integrate engineering principles, materials and technology selection into structured design methodologies based on their application to real-world challenges, how to understand the engineering environment, including strategy development, leadership and business operations management knowledge to play a management role in engineering project planning and delivery, and how to work closely and collaboratively with other employees, stakeholders and customers in a contemporary engineering organisation. If we look at the breakdown of content over the 4-year programme, you will also see a wide variety of topics are covered, from mathematics for engineers and product design in year 1 to computer-aided design and design analysis in year 2, manufacturing with materials and electronic design systems in year 3, and project planning and execution and advanced product design in year 4. The structure of this course also ensures that continuous learning and implementation of these principles takes place, again resulting in a well-rounded, knowledgeable and experienced individual who not only understands how to design manufacturing systems and the practicalities of how these products are made, but is also business focused. And from the very beginning of our EDM course, we introduce our apprentices to the importance of manufacturing for an economic context, and as the course develops, equips them with the tools and techniques they need to construct value streams that will benefit all levels of the business, from design, manufacturing, inspection and delivery. Now let's take a moment to look at both our product design and introduction to manufacturing modules that we cover in year 1 and how the knowledge can transfer into the business. These modules cover a number of areas, including design methodologies, creativity methods, manufacturing processes, sustainability, and classification of automation systems. We purposefully introduced these modules early in our programme in order to ensure both our employers and employees can benefit from this teaching. By introducing innovation and creativity at an early stage, apprentices can start to look at things from a different perspective, identifying how design methodologies can be used as a tool to increase efficiency and creativity in the design process. We also explore the fundamentals of sustainability and how you can engineer sustainability into products for the benefit of your customers, your business, and the world around us. And at every stage of your apprentice's journey with us, we're always looking for ways that your apprentice's learning can add value to your business. So what are some of the overall benefits you can experience as a business from using our programme? Firstly, you can develop the skill sets of your current employees at no additional cost, something that could prove to be very valuable in the current climate. You can even save money if your graduate apprentice is under 25, as you'll not have to cover employer Class 1 national insurance contributions. If you're hiring new employees, the programme allows you to mould them around your internal systems and culture whilst they're receiving a formal education. We ask that all of our apprentices are paid at least the living wage, meaning that you can benefit from a graduate level employee and apprentice level investment. Staff morale, productivity, and retention has been shown to increase as they feel that their company is investing in them as an individual and that they are adding value to the business. They're also developing their knowledge and experience and therefore finding more productive and efficient ways to work. Studying 1 day a week whilst working for 4 days allows apprentices to share and implement what they have learned from their lecturers and fellow apprentices on a weekly basis, bringing new knowledge and skills into your business. We work closely with all of our employers to ensure that we create partnerships with them, which has resulted in a number of hugely beneficial collaborations across the university, from research projects, summer internships, graduate opportunities, and the formation of spin-out companies. The flexible entry and exit points we offer allow you to plan for your skills needs, as we can offer entry straight into the 2nd or 3rd year of our programme based on previous experience, and applicants also receive a qualification for every year they complete, allowing them to leave before the completion of 4 years if they have reached the skill level you desire. Finally, even though our programme lasts for 4 years, there is no obligation on your behalf to retain your employee for the duration of this time, as we appreciate circumstances can change. There are also a number of benefits for your employees in joining the programme. Firstly, they will develop the knowledge, skills, and experience to honours degree level that they will be able to put into practice immediately. This will hopefully allow them to excel in their current role and develop their career within your organisation. For the 4 year duration of their course, they will receive all the benefits of being a full-time student, including access to award-winning staff, resources, and facilities. They will also gain a degree from a highly respected university that would normally take 4 years of studying full-time to achieve, all whilst earning a full-time wage and without any student debt. Finally, they will also graduate with 4 years of valuable industry experience ahead of graduates who are studying full-time, hopefully leaving them in pole position when applying for a promotion. So why should you choose our Graduate Apprenticeship Programme? Well, if you're looking to hire externally, 72% of Scottish employers think job applicants lack technical, practical, or job-specific skills, and therefore have to spend between 6 and 9 months training new employees, including graduates. Internally, research has shown that current employees find learning more enjoyable and impactful if it's done in a practical and integrated way. Our programme addresses both of these issues by providing a richer, deeper learning experience, leaving our graduates with both the knowledge and industry experience they need to hit the ground running from day one, all at no additional cost to our employers or apprentices. And why should you choose the University of Dundee? Well, without going into too much detail, the university is consistently ranked one of the top universities not only in Scotland and the UK, but also across the world. We also achieved the TEF Gold Award for Teaching and Learning Excellence, and were awarded University of the Year for Student Experience in the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide 2020. And all of this shows that you can be assured that your employees will receive a high-quality learning experience within a world-class environment. But please don't take our word for it. Here's a quote from one of our graduate apprenticeship employers, Managing Director Douglas Reid. Douglas said, "Apprenticeships undoubtedly help people, and the apprentices always bring something to the business. Our apprentices are very smart individuals. We had one who had a significant input into the setup of a telecoms business from scratch. They do an absolutely incredible job. Apprentices have a very can-do attitude and bring a fresh perspective. We saw Christian's potential and were able to support him and help him develop that potential." And we've had overwhelmingly positive feedback from apprentices across all of our courses, including Jack Laird, who said, "Being in a class filled with like-minded people has given me the opportunity to discuss organisational differences and share systems and procedures that I can bring back to the workplace. The programme has given me the confidence to discuss with my colleagues how the systems and procedures that I'm learning about at university can be incorporated into my day-to-day work. Our programme has been designed to ensure that it is accessible to a wider range of applicants as possible. This not only allows as many businesses as possible to take advantage of the opportunity, but also ensures our apprentices are studying alongside people from a wide range of backgrounds and experiences. Our graduate apprenticeships are suitable for both current and new employees with at least 16 years of age, with no maximum age. Studying on the programme must lead to a high level of qualification in a new area of learning. It's great for those who are completing or have completed a foundation or modern apprenticeship and would like to develop further. And it's also suitable for school leavers with relevant qualifications who would like to work whilst continuing their education. Now, each of our courses also have entry requirements, and these are to ensure that our apprentices are not overwhelmed by the level of work they're required to complete. Now, as I mentioned, these slides will be sent out to you after the event, so I'm not going into too much detail about entry requirements, but what I will say is that we treat each applicant on a case-by-case basis. The entry requirements listed are more of a guide for applicants joining straight from school, but many of our applicants are older and have years of experience, so we will assess their qualifications and experience as a package before making a decision. If you are considering placing someone on one of our courses, but they do not meet the requirements, we would be delighted to review their CV to see if we could offer them a place on our programme. Now, the process for applying is slightly different depending on if you're looking internally or externally. If you're looking internally, we would request to see your employee's CV and then invite them to attend a short informal telephone interview. We'll then make a formal offer and start processing the application. If you're hiring externally, the same process applies. However, we can help you review CVs and participate in interviews if required to ensure you hire a suitable candidate for the programme. Thank you for listening, and hopefully you now have a clear picture of what our Graduate Apprenticeship Programme is, and more importantly, how it can help your business. I will stop sharing my screen so we can hear from Fiona McMillan from the University of Stirling about their Graduate Apprenticeship Programme.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for that really helpful overview of graduate apprenticeships, and also for giving us some details on what they look like at Dundee. Delighted to be here with you all today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to join you. I'm going to do the same thing, but from a Stirling perspective. So hopefully you'll notice that Wayne and I are a little bit less familiar with Zoom than we are with Teams. So apologies, we're clearly Teams loyal, but hopefully you've got my slides on screen there. Great. There's always that moment of worry where you feel like you're sharing something else, but hopefully at the moment you can see sunny Stirling campus. So Wayne's given us a fantastic overview about what graduate apprenticeships are and what they look like, where they came from, how they can work for you. Wayne and I quite often team up to talk about graduate apprenticeships because we offer different programs. So we've got something different that we can offer. And this collaboration is just one of many things that happen across the graduate apprenticeship space. There's 13 of Scotland's universities now operating on graduate apprenticeships. None of us deliver all of them, and the ones that we do slightly differently. So we all work quite collegiately to share information between us. So if you come to me about a programme that we offer here at Stirling, I'll always happily put you in touch with someone that does at another place. Or if you come to me about our programme, but maybe there's some things about it that make someone else offering the same programme a better fit, we'll make that work out, or we'll introduce you to them, because it's always about what the best outcome is for your learner and for your organisation. So that's why you'll see us teaming up quite often. So Wayne's given us a fantastic overview of 5 very different programmes. I'm here to talk about data science, which is the programme that we offer at Stirling. So the data science programme was introduced back in 2019 as a very successful pilot. There aren't a huge number of graduate apprenticeship programmes on offer. There's about 14 different frameworks at the moment. When they started out in 2017, there were 9 of them. Very heavy on engineering. So Dundee has an engineering school. We at Stirling don't. Short of me kicking the swimming pool down and building one, we weren't going to get into that space. So I was delighted when data science came along because it really played to Stirling's strengths. And it was a space that we were excited to operate in. So the pilot came on board. We got very excited about that. It had been successful. So we bid for it. We were awarded it, and we started delivering it in 2020. Which was an interesting year for lots of reasons. When we introduced our programme, before we knew what we wanted to deliver, but we roundtable tested it with a whole bunch of different employers across different sectors, different industries, different sizes, a couple of times over to make sure that what we were delivering and what I'm here today to talk to you about worked for those organisations. It's all very well and good as deciding what we want to deliver, but if it doesn't work for a business, it doesn't work for anybody. So it needed to be compatible with the needs of business, and it needed to be compatible with the needs of business in a very changing world as well. And thankfully, I think what I get to talk to you about today is quite a robust programme. So what is data science? Data science is this kind of weird term that's changing all of our worlds, and it can feel a little bit out there and a little bit like something that other people do, but actually data science is something that's hurtling towards all of us rapidly. And the way that IBM define it is very much about actionable insights. So taking actionable insights from the huge and growing volumes of data that all organizations have. You will see statistics left, right and centre about how data science vacancies are appearing all over the place at sort of exponential growth. And it is one of the most, covetable skills to have at the moment. What that means is that there's a bit of a disconnect between supply and demand, and it can often mean that the big employers or the tech employers or the finance employers can come and swoop all of the graduates up out of programs, and that means that SMEs or people in different sectors or people on data maturation journeys or local authorities or charities or all sorts of different people can struggle to compete in that space when actually these programs can be transformational. So I get really excited about us offering the Graduate Apprenticeship as a route to be part of that transformational journey and bringing data science into a whole range of different organisations. And I'll touch on some of the partners that we're working with as I go on. But data science is really about combining different disciplines of computer science, analytics, machine learning, problem solving, maths, statistics, all sorts of things into doing things like forecasting, into doing efficiencies, into analysing your consumer behaviour, into getting information out of the information that you already have. So making the most of information that you already have to make your business, your choices, your informed decision making more impactful. So up on screen here, you'll see some statistics about why data science is a good fit for us to deliver at Stirling. So there's some stats there, and you'll see the Guardian University Guide, you'll see the recent REF. It says 2021, and because of the pandemic delay, the REF, which is the Research Excellence Framework, that was actually, these are hot off the press. These figures only came out about a month ago, and we were quite delighted with them. So you'll see the impact of the data and computing research that gets done at Stirling. We collaborate very closely with the Data Lab, which is Scotland's innovation centre for data excellence. And also we offer a whole suite of programmes. So we have the standard undergraduate programme, the sister programme to our graduate apprenticeship. We have MScs in big data, fintech, artificial intelligence, data science for business. And we also have Scotland's first prof doc in data. So I mention all of that so that you know that the corridors of Stirling are literally crawling with data experts who are really keen to talk about all of this stuff and will be involved in the teaching of your apprentices. Wayne's given us a really good overview about graduate apprenticeships and what they are and how they work. There are some nuances between different institutions and between different programmes. So I'll do a very quick run through about sorry, I thought my power was about to go. Do a very quick run through about what it looks like here at Stirling, and then I'll take you into the detail of the course. But I don't want to belabor too many of the points that Wayne's already touched on so thoroughly. So as we've discussed, these are 4-year programmes that result in honours degrees and that combine academic and work-based learning. So at the end of that journey, your apprentice gets all dressed up and goes to graduation the same as everybody else. Their qualification is the same value, it's just achieved through a slightly different route. SDS, when they designed these programmes, they stipulated individuals spent 80% of their time in work, 20% engaged in study. And like Dundee, we quite neatly felt that felt like a day a week. Some universities do that as block release, some do it as a couple of contact days. We liked the day a week because it meant that it was minimally disruptive to business, but maximally impactful, and also that we could make sure that none of our apprentices were drifting. And that's worked really nicely for the apprentices. And our programme is delivered fully online. So that 1 day a week that's engaged in live classes is delivered online. We use a blend of what we call synchronous and asynchronous learning, which is a fancy way of saying a combination of live and recorded classes. The live classes, so the practicals, the seminars, the small group sessions, any engagement with academics, that happens on that 1 day. And that has been fantastic for us because we have apprentices on the programme from Aberdeen to Dumfries and Galloway who are all very welcome in Stirling, but probably don't want to come to campus once a week. And they're engaging fantastically on their laptops or on their machines regularly. As we noted, 1 day a week isn't quite going to cut it for an honours degree, so the apprentice will have to add a bit of their own time into this, and we agree with sort of 7 to 10 hours, and we provide a whole suite of resources for them to access during that time. So that's additional lectures, recorded materials, written materials, assessments and practical stuff that they can work on throughout. So it is a hard ask. It's not necessarily for everyone, but it's very rewarding. And instead of doing a full-time job and doing something like an OU degree on top or distance learning on top, the two things are intrinsically linked, and they're designed to be what you're doing at uni, you're applying in the workplace. What you're doing at work, you're getting a bit of academic credit for. A lot of our apprentices are parents or carers or have, you know, lives and obligations and all sorts of things. It is not in our interest to go around breaking your employees, nor would you want us to. And we have a duty of care to those students. So we designed the programme to be a challenge, but to be compatible and rewarding for you and for the apprentice to get the benefit for. During the summer, they are fully in company. They don't have any taught sessions, but they are working on their work-based learning. So we still ask that a bit of time is protected for them, but that can be a bit more flexible. So Wayne discussed as well the entry requirements. Again, we have entry requirements for our graduate apprenticeship in data science, and they're typically based off what the undergraduate data science is, which is around about 3 Bs. But we take that very much on a case-by-case basis, because we do recognise that a lot of, you know, not necessarily everyone is walking around with a bit of paper that has 3 Bs written on it. We have a lot of apprentices on our programme who perhaps left school at 16, 17, higher or further education wasn't necessarily for them at the time. They went into the world of work, where they've developed really strong aptitudes, interests and capabilities in a certain area and are hitting their heads off a ceiling. But, you know, you've got kids and a mortgage and all these real life things, and it can make it really difficult to take a step off that cliff and go back to uni. And this has been a really lovely way to open a door for some apprentices that they thought was closed, but also their business is absolutely, you know, they've seen the potential in that person to do more if they had the opportunity to access some skills. That's absolutely one of the reasons why I get up every day, because I love that moment. So we have apprentices who are everything from very ambitious school leavers right up to a couple in their 50s, and most fall somewhere in between. And to me, that's wonderful, because as Wayne mentioned, the learning that they do from each other, the different perspectives, the expertise that they bring, it's phenomenal. And they work very collegiately. But the flip side of that flexibility that we do approach on a case-by-case basis, Mario, the course director, and I will always meet with the apprentices ahead of time to give them a chance to ask questions and to get to know them a little bit better, to get to know where they're sitting, if they're ready, you know, where they're ready to enter. We don't want to set anybody up to fail. We don't want, so what we apply is a fair equivalence rather than a lower standard. We want to open the door widely, appropriately, but absolutely not set anybody up to fail. But the flip side of that is that we can potentially look at articulating somebody into the second year. We're very cognizant that these programmes are spending public money, so we want to do that effectively for your apprentice and for your business. But also, if your apprentice is, you know, thoroughly well versed in the materials we're going to deliver in year 1, that can be a frustrating experience, and it can have them spinning their reels. So we want to put them in at the appropriate level without chucking anybody in at the deep end. It's always on a comfort basis. The custom approach is another thing about apprenticeships that I really like, and this is where the slightly different route comes in. So this is where our apprentices work on their work-based learning projects. So they do one of these each year, and this is where they tackle a challenge that is set by you as the employer. We're not going to come in and tell any of you how to run your businesses. It's absolutely something that you want to have addressed, that the apprentice will work on with their new skills, with academic support and supervision. You get the output. We assess that through a Teams demonstration. We absolutely do not want to take any data out of your business. We don't need it and we don't want it. What we want to know is that your apprentice can do the thing that we've taught them to do effectively. And we provide wraparound support for this. So on our side at Stirling, we've got several layers of support. There's the programme director, Mario Kohlberg, who I'll come on to later. There's the academics who teach the individual modules. All of our apprentices, like all of our students, are assigned a personal tutor who is another academic, just to be a separate point of contact that the apprentices can go to. And they also have full access to our student hub, who answer every weird and wonderful question you can think of, and our student learning services, who are fantastic. And I strongly encourage all of our apprentices to go to. They're excellent if you've been perhaps out of higher education for a while, or it's your first time at higher education, but also they're really good for anyone who's switching disciplines. So while we've discussed that, you know, if I'm a history graduate, if I was to go and do a data science programme, it's a very different style of writing. So I could be losing marks on little technicalities. So the student learning services will help with that kind of thing, but phenomenally also for you as an organisation, you're getting someone improving their technical learning, their technical writing skills. So there's that broader additional benefit. So what you have on screen, your complimentary University of Stirling eye test. Please don't worry too much about trying to read the content of it just now. This is just, as Wayne says, we'll send the slides out afterwards. But I like this slide because it shows the whole programme kind of chunked together in one nice, convenient, easy way. And I'll touch on a couple of bits of it. I won't go into too many details on all of it. But as we've discussed, Mario designed this programme to be cumulative. We recognise that, you know, while there's not a tuition fee to the apprentice and there's not a cost to you as a business, it is not an insignificant thing to have someone out of the business one day a week. So we want there to be a return on investment for you. We want there to be an impact. So we designed our programme to be very modular, so each year, which flies by if you ask any of our apprentices. They get to the end, they take a breath, they look back and they realise that they've learned a whole chunk of skills, a whole suite of skills. And we've put lots of different reasons behind that. It was partly so it was effective for the business, that someone was getting together, you know, getting forward at a really substantial blocked rate, but also so that the apprentice, if for any reason they had to exit the programme early, they exit with a recognised exit point, but also with a substantial block of skills behind them that would make it easier for them to articulate into another programme. So we're trying to protect them should a worst case scenario happen. Our first year is very much a foundation year. We recognise that a lot of people coming to this might not have programming backgrounds, so we want to level the playing field a little bit. And that's why for those that do, we can potentially move them into our second year. But in our first year, we introduce a whole load of algorithmic thinking, we touch on some maths, we look at user interface design, and we plot some of the seeds around data science that will be returned to throughout. And that's the module in that year that our apprentices enjoy the most. We get a lot out of that one, but also they take a lot of it back to the workplace and they disseminate a lot of techniques and tools quite organically. Our second year looks at databases. We split the year in two around relational and non-relational databases. So we have them on traditional databases and then we move them on to big data, fast-moving, huge non-relational data sets using a whole bunch of software that they've potentially not used before, but they're able to get some really interesting information out of, so moving more into the data science realm. And we have a little bit more maths there. The last bit of maths for the course, which everyone is relieved to hear, but we like to get the maths out the way early, partly so it doesn't come along and trip anybody up afterwards, but also because we recognise that while it's not a maths heavy course, data science is built around maths, so we want that in at the start rather than shoehorning it in at a later date. It's built around that. Our third year is the ones where people's eyes always light up because that's our analytics and AI. So we're introducing machine learning, artificial intelligence. We've got some really cool stuff on user interface design and data visualization. So that's all around, you know, great, you're a data scientist, but how's someone taking the information out of what you're doing? How are they using your reports, but also how are they putting information in? What's the easy consumer or customer or colleague experience? And we also have a module which is called Natural Language Processing and Computer Vision. Really cool stuff. It's all about taking information from photographs and from audio files and from drone footage and from any weird and wonderful place you can get information from. And I think some of the projects we get from that will be very exciting indeed. The final year has a different structure. There's more of that very bright yellow, which is our integrated work-based learning programs that I'll come back to, but we still have some top elements, and it's a bit more theory-based in the final year, but we touch on security. Security features right through the whole program. We're all very cognizant of the importance of data security. This just ties it all up in a bow as they leave, and a cluster computing module. So putting a whole bunch of standard PCs together, making them do magical things. The yellow that you see throughout is the work-based learning project. So it looks like there's a lot of them, but it's really one project each year. In the first 3 years, they follow a very similar path. So in the autumn, we ask our apprentice and their mentor and I realised I didn't touch on the mentor in the last slide, I apologise, that we, along with SES, we ask that a mentor is appointed within the business. And Wayne touched on this from the Dundee perspective as well. So completely agree, there's a lot of flexibility around this. Doesn't have to be the line manager. In some cases it can be, in some cases it's not. They also don't have to be a data scientist. What we look for in a mentor is someone who understands the direction of travel of the business. It's not heavy ask. It's a couple of meetings each semester with the programme director and the apprentice. And what we want them for is to very much help us identify what the appropriate work-based learning projects would be, and to give the apprentice a bit of a steer from the company's perspective on that. We view that very much as a little bit of a leadership or senior development opportunity for the mentor. So there can be a little bit of CPD going on there as well for someone that you're potentially looking to move into a supervisory role, or someone who's looking to get supervision experience. I mean, you know, it's entirely up to them how much they want to lean into the full mentorship model, but our ask is quite light. There's no assessment requirement that falls on them either. So the individual and the apprentice work with the apprentice and the mentor, work on identifying a problem in the autumn and write a short report on it. In the spring, they then tech spec it, so we get a little bit more detailed. So we've got the what and the how. And then in the summer, when they don't have top classes, but they've also got a whole year of teaching under their belt, we get them to implement it. And like I say, that's assessed through things like Teams demonstrations. We go through that cycle for 3 years, and we do a project related to the theme of the year, and that can be applied very broadly. And then in the final year, the gloves are off. Our apprentices do a dissertation equivalent in an honours project, and they're actually very well set to do this because it's a bigger piece of the work-based learning they've been doing throughout. We don't ask for any of these to be set in advance. They're very reactive because we recognise that the apprentices' interests and aptitudes will change and develop over time, but also that the needs of the business will as well. So we set these much more reactively as we're going through the programme. A little bit of employer feedback here. I don't want to read it all out because it's quite wordy, and we will send the slides out afterwards, but it's just quite nice to see that Abellio described apprenticeships as a win-win for any organisation, and Aqualife considered it to be an extremely positive experience that had been cost effective for them in what they were looking to do. So Abellio upskilled existing staff, and Aqualife brought in a new recruit. So that's the two different pathways into an apprenticeship. And as Wayne says, we're very happy to support with both. With existing employees, we'll always have a very informal conversation. We'll address any questions that they have. We'll send some information over. We'll understand their comfort level, where they want to be, make sure the programme suits them. And if you're looking to recruit, we'll absolutely support you with recruitment materials, with job descriptions. We'll post that for you on apprenticeships.scot, which is the apprenticeship portal for Scotland. Circulate that as broadly as you would like it to go, and then we can assist you with shortlisting, which we'll do purely on an academic suitability basis, because they're your employee, and we won't comment on your organisational culture or anything like that, but we can help assist you on academic suitability. Just a quick example, I've just pulled a couple of the employers who are working with us just to give you a bit of a idea of the sort of breadth of businesses that we work with. So you'll see everything from SMEs, local authorities, public bodies, to large corporations on there. Data science is of benefit to every and all sector and industry. So we're really pleased to be having a growing breadth of organisations to work with. And it really enriches the experience for our apprentices as well. This is Mario, our programme director. I always like to include the slide, partly because it embarrasses him, but also because I love talking about him, and because I think that he's excellent. Mario has been with us at Stirling for quite a long time, and I feel very fortunate to have the pleasure to work with him. He's, as it says here, Associate Dean of Internationalisation for the Faculty of Natural Sciences, which is where our computing division sits. And he works very closely with our students at international campuses, but also our students who come through integrated degrees with colleges. And I mention that because it shows how well versed he is in working not only with what we call traditional students, so students that apply to university and come, but also to students who come through different routes as well, so through a whole breadth of different student bodies. And because he's the lead on work placements for our computing science students, he's very well versed in understanding what employers need and want from students, from graduates and from apprentices. So he's excellent and has a great relationship with the apprentices. And that takes me to the end. It's the fastest I think I've ever done that presentation, but I was conscious of time. So very happy to pass back to Wayne just now, because I'm keen to hear from the apprentices as well. But I've included my contact details on here and Mario's, and we'll get these slides out. Thank you, Wayne, over to you.
Perfect, thank you very much, Fiona. Yes, I'd now like to introduce to you our apprentices. So we've got Adam Jarrett and Jodie Stirling. Adam is first year business management apprentice who is employed with Halliburton as production group leader, and Jodie is fourth year business management apprentice employed with Robertson Construction Tayside as senior administrator. So Adam, it would be great if you can please share with us what your experience has been like so far on our programme, and any examples of where you've managed to put your learning into use in your daily role.
Yeah, absolutely, Wayne. So for me, the ease of kind of enrolment was almost effortless. When I enrolled in the course, Wayne and Wayne's staff, took care of everything. Responded to emails. Were very, very quick. So for me, the whole enrolment process, I anticipated being quite daunting, but it was, as I said, it was almost effortless. Course so far. Obviously, as Wayne said, I'm in first year, near the end of term 3. Really, really enjoyable. Such a diverse mix on the course. There's kind of people that are left school maybe a couple of years ago to people like myself who have been in employment for 20 plus years. Obviously, there was a bit of trepidation enrolling in the course, just how we would deal with the whole work-life balance, as well as having to study my own time and the learning that was involved. The way the course is structured is fantastic. It allows me to be able to do my work, spend time with my kids who are very, very active, and also study as well. Just the structure of the course is very, very good. Can't say anything bad about the course so far. Having such a diverse mix on the course, from you've got SMEs to non-profit organisations to big corporations like myself. Just having that diverse thinking when we're working through tasks in class, it brings a different style to the thinking. So the course is very, very good so far, and thoroughly enjoyable experience.
Fantastic. And what about yourself, Jodie? What has your experience been like so far? And do you have any examples of where you've managed to transfer your learning into your daily role?
Yeah, so my experience so far on the programme's been great. Joining the programme's allowed me to develop my confidence in myself and enhance my knowledge in areas, as well as learning new information that I can then relate back into the workplace as well as in my daily life. Looking back from when I first started in year 1 to today, I can see a big difference in the way that I work and the assessments I've submitted to the university as well, and that's all due to the feedback and the guidance that the lecturers have given me along the way. So in my daily role, it's helped me to look at things in more depth and how they have a knock-on effect to the wider business. As most of the assessments are based around your workplace, so that's allowed me to develop network connections within the business, as I've had to approach different people in the organisation and different departments that I wouldn't necessarily have spoken to before. So that's also helped me increase my communication skills with other departments that I also now work with on a regular basis.
Fantastic. And following on from that, then Adam, jumping back, can you think of any kind of key examples of projects where you have managed to make a positive change or improvement in your workplace through what you've learned on the course?
Yeah, I think it's kind of Jodie touched on there, the whole time management and communication aspect, covering it in the business module is very, very good. One of the frameworks kind of recently that we learned was a Lotus Blossom framework, and it was something that I wasn't aware of until, being on the course. Normally when we have an issue within Halliburton, we would deep dive into Taproot or 5Y. The framework that we kind of learned in the course allowed me kind of almost peel back the layers and kind of have a different approach, kind of systematic approach, and looking at various things, and it was such conceptual themes that I maybe hadn't necessarily picked up on before. So being able to apply that to my working environment is very, very good, and it's something that I've shared with other supervisors within my department.
Fantastic. And Jodie, you touched on a couple of things, but what about yourself? Are there any kind of key examples or projects over the 4 years that you can highlight to us?
Yeah, so one example would be we've got a system that the project management teams use. So each month they use a system called ePerform, which is used to score the supply chain that they're working with. So from that information, it's fed into monthly reports, which the supply chain team then use to determine which supply chain members they should continue working with, or which ones they maybe need to work with a bit more to bring them up to the expected standards. So the scores that are submitted each month are also part of the business KPIs as well, and they're monitored on the submissions each month. But the ePerform was quite a new system that was implemented, so I took my time to try and learn the system and produce some training materials on it, so that I could then help the project management team so that we could increase the number of submissions that were getting submitted each month. So I held a couple of training sessions where they could join, and I'd go through a presentation with them explaining the various steps within the system. Before doing this course, I wouldn't have been as confident to hold training sessions. So the Graduate Apprenticeship Programme has allowed me to develop my confidence in presenting. By holding these sessions, it allowed the teams to understand the system better and help the submission rates go from one of the lowest areas of the business for submitting them to one of the highest. So as it is a new system, there were also like technical difficulties. So I worked closely with the project teams, the supply chain department and the IT to try and resolve these issues to make it a smoother process for everyone. So the change management module, I would say in particular, has been beneficial in this instance, as it's allowed me to see how changes within a business should be handled and learn what has been done well and what we could potentially improve for the future when implementing new systems.
Fantastic, that's absolutely incredible. Thanks for sharing that, Jodie. I think probably a good time then to jump in after hearing that fantastic example from Jodie and hear from her mentor. So it's my pleasure to introduce Jodie's mentor, Donna Galbraith. Donna is currently employed with, again, Robertson Construction Tayside as office manager and personal assistant. So Donna, from your point of view, obviously having worked closely with Jodie, how has our programme benefited Jodie both within the role and as a person?
Well, I can agree with everything Jodie's already said, but from my perspective and in general terms, the whole range and scope of Jodie's knowledge has also increased her confidence in various scenarios. As she mentioned, there's a huge improvement in her communication skills. Jodie in the past was reluctant to speak out in group settings, so this kind of thing, I'm not that keen on doing it, and I don't do it that often, but Jodie has really improved in this sort of setting where she has to communicate with a variety of different groups and meetings, situations, including when she's presenting or training. I can now see the confidence and ease and the composure that she now has. Also with her written communication, that's improved dramatically as well. It's much more clear and concise when she's structuring an email or training materials or processes and procedures. Another thing that stands out for me with Jodie is her problem solving skills. She's always had that talent. She's always been excellent at doing that, but I do believe that the programme has given her some additional methodology and tools that assist her. So any issues that now crop up, or if we are developing processes for the regional business, she's got a more depth and analysis and a much wider perspective on the business and how each component kind of fits into one, so that we can get a really robust procedure in place. The other thing as well is her networking skills. She was kind of forced to do that when she was doing a lot of her assignments at university. She had to go to various departments and things like that. So she's now more naturally inclined to approach other departments and other people, and also to get involved with company-wide initiatives, such as the ePerform that Jodie's already mentioned, and also another one which was an HR group initiative, when the group were trying to implement core behaviours, which is like the values within the business, and basically how to roll those out. So Jodie had a big input in that. So yeah, a lot of it, I mean, Jodie was always excellent anyway. This has just enhanced everything in a major way. Mainly probably confidence, and I think when somebody has the confidence, they'll make decisions, they'll take decisions without that fear of making a mistake, because, you know, we all do. And if there is a mistake made, it can be resolved really quickly with Jodie now.
Fantastic. And I think, you know, it's clear from the examples that you've both given, the wider impact she's had on the business, not just on the benefits to herself. But was there anything else you'd like to add on the wider impact that Jodie's had on the business?
Yeah, I mean, in general terms, we have a young people strategy at Robertson, and we're really kind of invested in future development of the young workforce. And we also, as a business, constantly review succession planning. So I'm not going to be around forever. I mean, it might not be the type of role Jodie decides that she wants to go for, but that option's certainly there. Because of the all-encompassing curriculum of this programme, she has had an insight into lots of various different other departments, so she would be able to kind of use that. It's just made Jodie, and I kind of am echoing here what's already been said, that she's a much more knowledgeable, rounded and confident employee. And this in turn impacts us as a business and succession planning. I know that I could disappear off the face of the earth and Jodie could take over, not a problem with my role. So yeah. She's also brought some tools and methodology in as well for me. So for my department, I kind of look after the whole region. And so when we can identify now things a lot quicker that we need to resolve, and we can put those things into practice.
Fantastic. So finally, what would you say to any employer who may be considering utilising the Graduate Apprenticeship Programme?
Really, there's nothing to lose. It's a kind of win-win situation for everybody, the business, the apprentice. So it's a great opportunity for individuals to learn and grow. It's a great opportunity for the business to upskill their employees. There's no cost implication to the company. So the only sort of thing is that you're losing that person 1 day per week. It shows a commitment to both the employee and the employer. So there's that partnership there, and it helps to build that relationship. You also don't have to wait 4 years for somebody to be fully qualified. They're bringing in the things that they've learned, you know, in week one almost. So they're bringing these things into the workplace on a practical level, and they're embedding their theory with practice on a daily basis. So again, as I think I'm echoing someone said before, you're molding them into the processes and the practices of your business, but you're also gaining that knowledge and information. It also opens up opportunities for various people. Not everybody can go straight from school or college to uni. You know, they need to work. So this is a good opportunity for those kinds of people who are in that position. And it is a real partnership between the universities, the employer and the employees. It supports the employee to obtain a degree whilst earning a salary with little or no impact to the business other than positive improvements, and a really kind of knowledgeable member of staff. I don't think there's any negatives to it at all.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And before we open up to questions, I'd just like to thank obviously all our speakers. I think it's easy for me to sit and talk about the programme, but for you guys to really bring it to life and show you the experiences is really valuable. So thank you for your time. In a moment, I will be opening up to questions. So if anybody does have any questions, please raise your hand or pop them in the chat. I'm just going to quickly run through some of the questions that have been put in the chat since we started the presentation. And apologies again for the problems earlier on. So there was one mentioned about fully funded and questions around that. So hopefully you've kind of gained an understanding since it was put in the chat. But yes, it's fully funded. There's no additional cost. I have to say no additional cost because obviously you are paying the individual salary for the day they're studying at the university. So you're technically losing a day of productivity. If you look at it that way, some people obviously look at it as you're investing in their development. And as Donna touched on, you're constantly getting some return on that every time they bring a new idea into the business. So fully funded, no additional cost. There's nothing you have to pay to place an employee onto the course. Directory of all the different graduate apprenticeships. If you go to apprenticeships.scot, you'll see the list of all the different apprenticeships. To be honest, the website isn't very clear on which university offer it and the type of learning the offer of it's online on campus. So I lost my words there. If you're struggling to identify anything, just drop me an email. I'm always happy to direct, like Fiona said, we're always happy to direct you to the right place, even if it's not us. So any problems, just let us know. Alison's put a lot of great replies in there as well. Is there anyone from small organisations who's on the course? We have loads of small organisations, businesses that join the programme. This was something, as a previous small business owner myself and a number of small businesses, when I joined the programme, I was very much keen to reach out to that area. Prior to me joining, the focus was very much on medium and larger businesses. When, you know, this is the prime programme for small businesses, allows you to invest either in yourself as a business owner or in your employees, invest in their development at no additional cost to your business. You know, it might be a small business, you haven't got the resource to invest in training and the like, so it's a great opportunity for you to do that. So yeah, we have after people from one-man bands who are self-employed, to business owners, to, you know, companies that have got maybe 3, 4, 5 members of staff. Alison's obviously highlighted that they've done that in their growth and expansion. So if you have any concerns or queries, again, just get in touch. We're happy to even direct you to people who have utilised the course, who are smaller businesses, so that you can get an insight into how it works for them. Again, smaller team. How are the GA subjects being developed when new courses be emerging? So the initial batch were developed. It was basically employers were coming to educational institutes and to the government saying, look, it's great that we've got graduates, but like I mentioned, it's taken them between 6 and 9 months to upskill even graduates when they come out of uni to actually be efficient in the workplace. So that's where they worked about 2015. I think they started the process of developing it. Worked with industry and said, okay, let's create this programme that is 80% work-based learning, 20% learning at university, and let's create a programme that works for you. So they actually created all the GAs in partnership with industry, with businesses, to make sure that it was right for them. Over the years, they've added different ones as they've highlighted needs within different industries as things change and develop. There's obviously been a big push just now around sustainability and that kind of area. So there's nothing confirmed, but I know a lot of talk has been had about how they can either integrate that into current GAs or create new ones. We're not really privy to those conversations too early on, but we are asked at later stages kind of get involved in offering and helping with those. But currently, as I say, there's about 13. With COVID, I think a lot were put on the back burner with developing. We also moved from the European Funding Council to the Scottish Funding Council, which is involved with skills development in Scotland. So again, there was a slight change in how the funding came about. So that put some delays in place, but they're continually looking to add new ones. So yeah, if it's something that might not be right for you at the moment, it's not to say there won't be a subject that might pop up in the next few years. And Fiona's just added to that. SDS are developing new frameworks. They often put out calls to industry for their input. It's worth following on social media to keep an eye on this if you would like to have your voice heard. Absolutely. There was one recently around IT and the changing infrastructure of the IT industry. Anybody else got any questions? Have we got any hands up? Can I see any more comments coming in? Going through the list, I don't think there's, oh, what have I done? I think I've broke it. I cannot see the list of people. Is there any hands up? Sorry, Sarah or Alison.
There's no.
Can't, I've lost the list. No, okay, no problem.
No, you're all good.
If nobody's got, if anybody just has any questions after the event in weeks, months ahead, again, our email addresses are in the presentations, which Sarah will kindly send out to you. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope that you found it useful and it wasn't too boring for you. Again, thank you to our speakers. These events aren't the same without your participation. It really helps to bring them to life. And thanks to obviously Fiona for speaking and to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting us today. I'll stop talking now and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.